For those of you who have followed me for a while now, you'll know that in my 20s, I was a personal trainer. Really into fitness. I was really into like watching what I ate, and not because I was on a diet or any of this. I wanted to be healthy. I wanted to be fit, and I became a personal trainer. But before I became a personal trainer, I was in my teens when I've been active my whole life, but I helped my mom lose 89 pounds. Some people don't know what 89 pounds is, but it's a lot. It's going from a size 22 down to a size 9. We took her up to a size 10. She looked really good because of her bone structure. But this is what I realized in supporting her in losing weight is like, so she was told by her doctor, because she had bad back and stuff like this, do not exercise, you'll injure yourself. She was actually told exercise was bad, so she agreed to walk. So I decided to come up with a plan to support her in losing weight for her health. And I came up with this way of just like, it felt logical to me. It felt like something that made sense, which was if you looked at my mother's diet, you would notice that she didn't have a whole mess of junk. She didn't like snack a lot, all this stuff. She had a little bit of stuff, but she had a little bit of bad stuff in her diet, like too much sugar and stuff like this. But it wasn't too extreme. She was just eating large proportions and no exercise. She was sitting at a desk all day long. She was an office manager. And so I want to share with you how I supported her to lose weight. First of all, there was no rush. Like I just said, if this is going to work, we're going to take it in baby steps. So the first step was looking at how big a plate of food that she had. And it was like, okay, this is how much she normally dishes up. And we would take off, like the first week, we'd take 1 tablespoon off for the whole week, just 1. Then the next week we would take 2 tablespoons off. So we'd still always dish up the exact same amount that she normally ate at the beginning, and just take 2 tablespoons off the second week. And then for the third week and the fourth week, we'd take 3 tablespoons, getting her stomach used to having a little less food for every single meal, especially dinner. And then we just started doing that. We kept doing that over a period of time. So when it got to 4 tablespoons, then we would do that for 2 weeks. When we got to 5 tablespoons, it was letting her body adjust, letting her stomach shrink. So then she didn't feel hungry. The other thing, and so this was a really gradual process. And then the other thing was, I asked her, like, what is your favorite dessert? And her favorite dessert was Snickers. Like, okay, she had at least 1 Snickers a day at the beginning. And I said, well, how about we do like 1 Snickers every 3 days? What that means is you can divide it up in 3 parts and have a little bit every day, or you can have a Snickers in whole every 3 days. Which would you prefer? And she chose to do it however she wanted. Then the other thing that I did was, we would go places and she'd be like, oh, I really want that. And so I'd pause and I'd look at her, okay, Mom, you want that, I get it. You can make any decision you want, guilt-free, shame-free, judgment-free, unless it's coming from yourself, but preferably that free also. Do you want that, or do you need that? She could still choose whichever one, because if she said, I want it, and she got it, she was making a conscious choice to do that, which basically means, like, she was going, okay, I know this is against my intention, my goal, my dreams, but I'm going to do it. And every once in a while she did, and that's okay, fine. She was doing it consciously, and she didn't do it very often. In fact, I think in the year and a half that it took her, which was a really logical period of time, good period of time to lose that amount of weight, to keep it off, she probably broke it, wanting it and doing it, I think 3 times. All the other times she looks at it and goes, wants it, needs it, I want it, and okay, I'm not going to have it. And so this was the way we went about it. I got her walking first 10 minutes, then 15 minutes, then 20, and I walked with her. I would walk around her while she walked, or I'd walk up and back, and we would talk, and it was fun. It was fun for both of us. And so it's really good, like you get a walking buddy or something, or a workout buddy if you're working out. But even if you can't go to the gym, even if your doctor has told you you can't work out, which is not a good idea. The thing is, like, she had a back issue. If I knew now what I knew, if I knew then what I knew now, I would have made sure she had some back exercises, some abdominal exercises, because that helps the back, that helps the abs, that helps the body be more strong. And also with the more muscle, it helps lose weight and stuff like that. The more muscle we have, which actually puts on more weight, because muscle adds more weight, fat is lighter, then what happens is you lose fat faster. But she wasn't going down that path. So we took the year and a half to get her from a size 22 down to a size 9, a little bit up to a size 10. And then we would do playful things, like we would buy her a pair of pants that was 1 or 2 sizes too small. I'd come home and go, "Look at these, Mom." And she'd be like, "Ah." I have to see if I can fit in them. Like, okay. We'd put her on the floor, and she'd like trying to tuck everything in, and she'd like, I'd finally get them zipped in a button. She'd get up, and she's like, but we would laugh. Of course, she's like, "Don't make me laugh too much," because she was in them, and she was afraid of popping the button. But it inspired her to get to her next level of losing, because she wanted to wear those pants. But it wasn't a pressure of like, you have to do this. It was more fun. It was more playful. It was more like, oh, let's just find the joy in this. And so she wasn't starving herself. She wasn't restricting herself. She was cutting back. She'll have a Snickers, just not every day, unless you want to cut it in 3 pieces. You know, eventually I think she got to having like a Snickers every week or something. But that was her choice, you know, and it was like, it was a gradual process. And so her body started to shrink. Her mind was catching up with her. Her stomach was shrinking. There was no, this is a key thing, is making sure like you're not depriving yourself. Like right now, like me going through the thing of like getting off sugar, it's like I'm not depriving myself of something sweet. I'm just changing the refined sugar into something that's healthy, like fruit or fruit smoothies, or cacao in a blender with coconut, or coconut and bananas, or with mango and stuff like that. So I still have something sweet, but there's no added refined sugar or date sugar when I go out for cacao. So I still have my sweets. I just don't have what I would consider the unhealthy sweet, which is refined sugar. It's still sugar. It's still sweet. It's just, to me, the more natural sweet. So it's not depriving. It's still nourishing ourselves, still saying, hey, you can have something sweet. Hey, you can still feel fulfilled. You can still eat. Now, if you're somebody who's eating a lot of potato chips and a lot of greasy food and all this stuff, then you're going to have to do a little bit more of a change. I wouldn't say take it all out at one time. In fact, I'm going to do a different video on this, because that's a longer subject. Boom. Enjoy. My name is Heather Ray Dawn.